Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to our Friday night service, enhanced as we welcome back Jeremy Berkun to help us elevate our spirits and our souls and our songs and our prayers. But more importantly, how wonderful it is for us to be together. We're still in that era in which we are greeting each other, and some of us are saying, I've seen you on my iPad, I've seen you on my television, I've seen you on my computer, my phone, but I haven't seen you in real person. So in real life, how wonderful it is for us to be together. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and pleasant when brothers and sisters dwell together in harmony. Join with us. Hinei matov.
שברחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד, טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד, הנה מה 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 טוב ומה נעים, שברחים
I invite you to rise if you're able as we bless the Shabbat candles. The candles were lit earlier today because we're in that season of the year that in order for us to light the Shabbat candles and say the blessing together, we would have to meet at 5 p.m., which is not ideal. But still, We want to bless the light because we believe that Shabbat is mainly about spreading our light, the light of our soul, and sharing that light with the world. So we are going to bless together the Shabbat candles. If you haven't blessed the candles at home, you can say the blessing together with us, the blessing of the Neirot Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Vetzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
Turn to the person next to us. We wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. You may be seated. Our tefillah begins in the middle of page 2 in the pamphlets with a beautiful poem, beautiful medieval poem that speaks about our relationship with God as a relationship of friendship and love. You may be seated. Page 12 in the prayer books, middle of page 2 in the booklets, Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Meshoch Avdecha El Retzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Ayal Yishachaveh El Mul Hadarecha Yeravlo Yedidutecha Inofetzu Vechol Ta'am Adonai Ziv HaOlam Nafshi Cholat Avatecha Ana Elna Refana La Be'arot La Noam Zivecha Az titchazer Vetzitaber Ve'hayta La Simchat Olam
Six Psalms, one for every day of the week that we leave behind, an opportunity to reflect in this past week so that we can be spiritually ready for the week that will begin after Shabbat. We hit the pause button on Shabbat. Shabbat doesn't belong to the week that we leave behind, but doesn't belong to the next week either. It's an opportunity to reflect, to contemplate, and to connect with God and with ourselves. the bottom of page 2 if you are following the booklets, on page 22 if you're following in the blue prayer books. Lechu neranena l'Adonai.
Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya letzur ishenu, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirod nariya lo, nekadma fanav betoda, bizmirod nariya lo, ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim, asher beyado mechkerei haaretz v'toafot harim lo, asher beyado mechkerei haaretz v'toafot harim lo.
Rejoice with the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that they contain. In our prayer books, bottom of page 24, and our pamphlets on page 3, join with us, Yismechu Hashemayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umlo, oh, 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 Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz.
Psalm that speaks about the use of musical instruments to elevate our prayers and our song can be found in our prayer books on page 28. 6 lines from the bottom of the page, Zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, and our pamphlets in the middle of page 3. Praising God with these tools enable us to transcend beyond the words, beyond the themes, but sometimes those songs connect us with what it is that we are seeking on this holy day of Shabbat. Join with us, Zamru l'Adonai.
Zamru l'Adonai bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Hiram hayam ulo, tevel ve'osh ve'var, eharot imcha Adonai kiva lishmot yishmot tevel beseder le'amim b'meisharim Hiram hayamim lo tevel beyosheva ne'arot imcha uchaf yachad harim niranenu yachad harim niranenu.
Exalt the Lord our God and worship at God's holy mountain. Bottom of page 3 if you're following the booklets, or page 30 in the prayer books. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kosho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kosho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kosho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lehar kosho.
Rise in body or spirit. In our prayer books, page 34, and our pamphlets, we turn together to page 4 for Psalm 29, Mizmor LeDavid.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Eli, Havul Adonai kavod ba'oz, Havul Adonai kevod shemo, Yishachavu Adonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod yirim, Adonai al hamayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayshaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel Lebanon ve'Sirion kemo ve'Re'emim. Kol Adonai chosev la'otesh, Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yechol el ayalon, vayechazor yeharot, umechalo kulo mekavod, kulo omer kavod.
Be seated. We turn in our Sidurim and our prayer books to page 38 and our pamphlets to page 5, the central poem of the Kabbalat Shabbat service. And as we prepare for this moment, I'm reflecting on how interesting it is to observe my son's return back from college and to see him appreciate our home in ways that he may not have for the first 18 years of his life, appreciating our home, our backyard, his bed. And it's very heartwarming to see, and I'm sorry for embarrassing you. But what it makes me think of is that every Shabbat, I think we are invited to have that same return to ourselves, that these other 6 days of the week we've been running around, and we've been following our schedule, and we've been losing track of time, and in many ways losing track of ourselves. When we welcome Shabbat into the sanctuary with this beautiful poem and prayer, I think we're also inviting ourselves to welcome our souls and welcome our true selves back into reality, to getting back in touch with what it is that matters most to us, of who we are, of what we value, of what we cherish. On Shabbat, we are not only welcoming peace and joy into the whole world, we are also returning our souls to their purest and most original selves. So let's get reacquainted with who we truly are on this holy day that we are blessed to enjoy each and every week. Let's join together Lecha Dodi. We'll pray the first 2 stanzas and the last 2 stanzas on 38 and 40, or you can follow along in the pamphlet on page 5. Join with us.
Shamor וזכור בדיבורך השביענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתקילה לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה בראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה
bow together as we welcome Shabbat.
We may be seated. We just welcomed Shabbat. Shabbat has entered the room, has entered our souls, and we have entered the realm of Shabbat. We are inside Shabbat. Shabbat is a time that is different, a time in which creation becomes something different and ourselves are transformed as we contemplate creation. It is a moment not for asking, not for begging, not for reflecting on the things that we miss, but for focusing on the things that we're grateful for. We praise God with a prayer of gratitude on page 42. It is good to thank you, O Lord, to sing praises to your exalted name. If you're following in the booklets, we are on the bottom of page 5.
להודות לאדוני טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב להודות לאדוני לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב להודות לאדוני להגיד בבוקר חסדך להגיד בבוקר חסדך באמונתך בלילות באמונתך בלילות טוב להודות לאדוני.
Final verses of the same Shabbat Psalm, Tzadik Katamar Yifrach. Ke'erez ba'avanon yizgeh, the righteous will flourish like the palm tree and grow mighty like the cedar of Lebanon. Even in our old age, we will retain our vigor and our strength. Bottom of page 42 in our prayer books, top of page 6 in the pamphlets. Join with us, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach.
Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Ke'eretz Lebanon yizkeh, shetuli bebeit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu odenu vun beseva deshenim verananim yiyu le'adi ki yashar
Page 44, Psalm 93.
Adonai malach geut lavesh, lavesh Adonai ozit azar, afti kon tevel, al timot, afti kon tevel, al timot, nachon kisach leaz, me'olam ata, nasu nerot Adonai, nasu nerot kolam, yisu nerot ochyam, mikolot mayim rabim, azirim bishvereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, adir bamarom Adonai, erotecha nemnu be'od, lebeitcha na'ava kodesh, Adonai le'orech yamim, Adonai le'orech yamim, mikolot mayim rabim, adirim mishbereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, adir bamarom Adonai.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we welcome one another as a kahila, as a congregation, transitioning into the formal evening prayers of the Ma'ariv service, the blessings of the Baruch Hu, page 50 in our prayer books, middle of page 6 in our pamphlets. seated. We continue privately the blessings of the evening service, Ma'ariv Aravim, prayer that praises God as one who separates night from day and darkness from light.
El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Amen. Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Aravim.
Final blessing before the Shema, page 52. Speaks of God's love for us through the gift of the Torah and the path of the mitzvot.
Ve'avadcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 54 and 7 of the pamphlets. We join the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, בהירות הדפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue privately the final paragraphs of the Shema, the prayer book, pages 56 and 58.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם בנתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תעתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We turn now to page 8 in the booklets or page 60 in our prayer books for the song of redemption, the song of freedom, the song that the children of Israel sang when they crossed the Red Sea and started walking towards the land of Israel. A song that we sing not only to acknowledge the miracle of freedom back in those days, but also to pray and to hope for the redemption of every single human being that feels oppressed. The Jewish people is committed not only with remembering our own redemption, but also to contributing to bringing forth redemption for every nation on earth. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, page 8.
Adonai, Adonai. Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children crossed the sea. They sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai?
Pray for peace in the darkness and the nighttime, which we ask God to shelter us and protect us. Ashkivenu, in our prayer books, page 62, and in our pamphlets, we turn together to page 8.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom vehamidenu malkeinu lechaim.
To the sick and the suffering, send your hope. To the forgotten and the lonely, send your love. To the confused and the distressed, send your light. To the weary and the wronged, send renewed strength. To the pursuers of justice, send wisdom and faith. To the seekers of peace, send unwavering resolve. To Jerusalem and its people, send tranquility and joy. To the world tonight, send the blessings of Shalom.
Ufros aleinu sukat shomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shomecha. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol
rise in body or spirit as we offer the verses that remind every generation of the Jewish people to observe Shabbat and to keep it holy. Page 64 in our Sidurim, top of page 9 in our pamphlets. Vishamru.
Uvayom Ashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Veshamru bnei Yisrael et haShabbat Lasot et haShabbat Ledorotam beritom.
6 Hebrew words before the private prayer on page 69 in our Sidurim, the middle of page 9. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tilatecha. We ask God to open up our lips so that our mouths may declare your praise. This is a moment where we not only have words on the page, but we also engage in private meditation. Prayer without words, even without any sound, without any music, and it's not always so easy to find that place, that soulful place, to connect with our true selves, with our Creator, to yearn, to express gratitude, to find the expressions of our hearts and souls. So we take 3 steps back as we say Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, and then 3 steps forward as we exit this physical world and symbolically enter into an intimacy with God. Join with us in this meditative melody before the private Amidah, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach.
Yada da da da, 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 yada da da da. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yadi Tefilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yadi Tefilatecha. Yada da da da, 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 yada da
Private Amidah, pages 69 to 76 in our Sidur, middle of page 9 to the bottom of page 11 in the pamphlet, either in the Hebrew, the translation, or any private meditation of your heart. You're still davening the Amidah. Please continue your private prayers. If you have concluded, you may be seated. We will take this opportunity to pray for all those in our congregation, in our community, all around the world, who are suffering illness, who need a refuah shlema, those sick in body, those suffering in spirit. We hold all of those in our hearts. Those who are here, those who are abroad. Pray for a speedy and a complete recovery. Mishaberach for Cholim can be found in the pamphlets on page 12.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Leibotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Ibotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. This week, we continue reading the Parshiot that tell us the story of our patriarch Yaakov. If you remember the Parsha last week, Yaakov was in a very complicated situation, right? When he left the land of his father and his mother, God tells him one day, you will own all of this land, the land of Canaan, later to be called the land of Israel. And Yaakov says, I don't have food. I don't have clothes. What's the point of promising all this land if I have nothing? And he says, if you bring me back to this place in peace, I will give you 10% of everything that I have. And he had a lot. Actually, something interesting that I was reading last night on Twitter, a colleague calculated the value of all the gifts that Yaakov presented to Esav. He brings 200 she-goats, 20 he-goats, 200 ewes. How do you pronounce that? E-W-E-S. 20 ewes, 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their colts, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 she-asses, and 10 he-asses. So this rabbi calculated that to 2022 value of these animals, and he said that Yaakov presented his brother with $225,000 worth of animals. And if that's only the gifts, that means that Yaakov was very, very wealthy. So we could say that the divine promise has been fulfilled. He left with nothing, and he's coming back with a lot. So much that he can give all these animals to his brother. But the key word in his ask to God is that he wants to return to this land beshalom. Now, shalom is a very rich word in Hebrew. Because yes, we say shalom, we translate shalom to peace, and when we talk about war and conflict, shalom means peace. We also say shalom as a way of greeting each other. Shalom means hi in Hebrew. But shalom comes from the word shalem, which means integrity, being whole. being complete. And when it comes to integrity, it's not about your wealth that will give you integrity. What will give you integrity is perhaps the most complicated of all relationships that a human being has, which is the relationship with himself or herself. Because Yaakov managed to trick every single person in his life. He deceived his brother, he tricked his father, disguising as Esav and making blind Isaac believe that he was actually Esav. He will leave the house of Laban in the night, thinking that his father-in-law will never realize that he is running away. He managed to create a lie, a facade over his true self so that everyone believes that he's someone else. But God has something prepared for him that is going to be difficult. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be wrestling. Because there will be a moment in which, before encountering again, after many, many years, his brother Esav, Yaakov will be, for the first time, alone. According to Rashi, everyone had crossed the Ma'avar Yavok, a river that is there in the area of where Esav lived. Interestingly, Ma'avar Yavok also means the transition of Yavok, and Yavok has very similar letters and sounds very similar to Yaakov. So this is the moment in which Yaakov will transition. And there, it says, Va'ivater levado. He was left alone. Rashi says that he forgot something on the other side of the river, so everyone had crossed. He went back to the other side to pick that up. It was dark, it was night, and here Yaakov is, for the very first time in his life, facing something that many of us are very much scared of, which is the mirror, a conversation with yourself. And in that conversation with himself, in that moment in which he will have to struggle and to wrestle with a mysterious visitor, that some rabbis believe it was an angel, other rabbis believe it was his brother Esav, but others believe that it was actually a section of his soul. That part of his soul that was always running away and escaping and in disguise and hiding, Yaakov will have to fight with this side of his soul. And there's no escaping, there's no running away when the conversation is with yourself. Because you can run away from any situation with other people. You can trick anyone, you can ignore the call, reject. As young kids say in our days, you can ghost other people. You can leave the message as if you haven't seen it, and people will expect that maybe you will reply or maybe not. But when it comes to talking with yourself, the reminder will be unavoidable. You know, the very first conversation that a human person ever had, according to the Torah, is when God opens the conversation with Adam and asks him, Ayeka, where are you? You know what's the second one? God will speak to Cain and will ask him, where is your brother? Yaakov is getting ready to meet after decades with his brother and to try to make peace. But before that, he will have to make peace with himself. He will have to seek integrity, because there's no answering the question, where is your brother, if you cannot answer first the question, where are you? And for the very first time, Yaakov is going to be confronted with himself. And he will wrestle. It's going to be complicated. There's no conversation with yourself that is easy, light, and peaceful. But if you manage to succeed, you're going to be completely transformed. And that's the birth of Israel. This is the moment in which Yaakov is not going to be Yaakov only, he's going to also add Israel to his name. And don't get me wrong, Yaakov is going to continue to be called Yaakov throughout the Torah, because there's no killing that old self that you have to wrestle with. But perhaps there's dominating that self. There's learning how to conquer that self that always runs away and escapes and avoids challenges, so that the other aspect of yourself can take power over your life. I believe that the wrestling with the angel is not anything other than Yaakov looking at himself on the mirror and realizing that this one he will not be able to avoid. This conversation, there's no tricking, there's no faking it, there's no disguise that will make himself believe that he's someone else. And that's why this is the beginning of who we are, of the Jewish people. This is the beginning of Israel. Yes, we are seekers of peace. We are seekers of shalom. But before we seek shalom with others, we need to seek integrity in the depth of our souls, of ourselves. Let us all be inspired by this wrestling of Yaakov with himself, so that each and every one of us, through learning the wisdom of this parsha, can look in the mirror and have that long postponed conversation. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to rise as we invite. Oh, okay. We're going to invite the children to the bima as we bless them with the priestly benediction.
We welcome all of the children under the age of 18 to come up to the bima to get a blessing. Come. There we go. Don't be shy. Yesimcha Elohim kefrayim bechi Menashe. May God bless you as Ephraim and Menashe. Yesimech Elohim kesara Rivka Rachel Leah. May God bless you as our mothers Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, and to all of our children. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God show you favor and be gracious to you. May God show you kindness and bless you with a Shabbat of Shalom and a life and a world and a future of Shalom. As we all say together, Amen. Boys and girls, I invite you to give the Torah scrolls a kiss before you return to your places. We remain standing, page 118 in our prayer books for Aleinu, and in our Siddur, page 12, I think.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Be seated. Before we offer the mourner's Kaddish, there's one beautiful verse many beautiful verses in our Parsha that was put to a melody. And it is when Jacob says in Genesis chapter 32, verse 11, Katonti mikol chasadim, I am unworthy of all the kindnesses that you have so steadfastly shown your servant. Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother. He's about to meet his brother. He doesn't know what will be. Will it be peace? Will it be war? And he expresses a powerful prayer of humility and salvation. And as all of us offer the words of the mourner's Kaddish, those of us who are in mourning or those observing a Yortzeit, many of us have feelings of not being worthy of the love that we received or the relationships that we had. And we pray that God will see us through, that we will find salvation while our loved ones are with us now only in spirit. So in a moment, we're going to read all of the Yortzeits. Actually, I'll read them now. We have the Yortzeits of the coming week of Esther Bentalila, Izui Budik, George Epstein, Ira Feldman, Minnie Fiedler, Bernard Gordon, Ruth Gray, Thomas Gruner, Erwin Shefflin, Violet Sosnow, Robert Waters, Susan Weinberg, Morton Weinberger, and Philip Weinkrantz. Many of these names, individuals, I had the blessing of knowing them, and I know that many of their family members are here with us, and I want to add one additional name I believe is still in the 30-day period of her mourning, of Lipsa Groner. May she rest in peace. Lipsa was the Rebbitzin of the synagogue that I first served 21 years ago in the suburbs of Detroit called Shaarei Tzedek, and Lipsa's son David is here. Lipsa and her husband, her late husband, Rabbi Erwin Groner, were the first rabbi couple to welcome our family and to accept us. And it was 21 years ago where I said, I think maybe we should have a guitar at this Friday night service. They had never had it before. And I believe Lipsa told Rabbi Groner, whatever this young Pisher rabbi wants to do, let him do. And she was an amazing woman, and her memory will always live on with me wherever I am. And I know that this isn't the synagogue that you grew up in, but since I'm here, I hope that you pray that you feel her spirit. She came down when I was first installed with your beloved father, and her memory is very dear to me. So we're going to say Kaddish for all those that we remember this week, all those whose souls live on in our hearts, for which that love, we don't always feel so worthy, but we definitely feel blessed. So this is Katonti, just for this week's Torah portion. If you want to hear it again, you'll have to come back next year, or I'll send you the Spotify link. Jeremy's going to lead us.
קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. כי לעבדי עברתי את הירדן, אתה הייתי לי שני מחנות. הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא. עברתי את הירדן, אתה הייתי לי שני מחנות. הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את העמך. ביד לי עברתי את הירדן, אתה הייתי לי שני מחנות. הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא. ביד לי עברתי את הירדן, אתה הייתי לי שני מחנות. הצילני נא, הצילני נא, הצילני נא. יא לה לה לה.
Those of us in mourning and those observing Yortzeit, I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Mourner's Kaddish can be found in our prayer books on page 124 and our pamphlets, page 13. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach l'olam u'me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush berchata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. I want to invite the rest of the congregation to rise as we're going to offer Kiddush for Shabbat, Kiddush and Hamotzi. Roger Rosenthal is going to lead us. I want to welcome everyone. I appreciate seeing you. I know some of you haven't been here in a very long time from that frozen tundra called Canada. So as you continue to trickle down, we welcome you back, especially if you took a COVID hiatus. I know some of you are shul shopping, so we welcome you if you're coming to explore. Some of you had to put your dinners on hold with your families who had an early seating at 6 o'clock and they're holding brisket for you to come at 8 o'clock. We're grateful that you're with us. We know some of you have Yortzeit. We know some of you are coming because you miss Jeremy. So we are grateful to have all of you with us following services in our smaller social hall. If you'd like to stay and have Shabbos dinner with us, we would be delighted to have you. Thank you, Ilan. You just grew so quickly, immediately. So we're going to have Kiddush here. Please take the Shabbat program guide home with you. It looks this pamphlet here. Hopefully you took one when you came into the main sanctuary. Has all of our contact information as well as programs for the upcoming days, including very special Hanukkah celebrations. And this is my last Friday night for a few weeks. I'll be heading off to Israel next Thursday night. So if you need anything like a talis or a yarmulke, send me an email. I have done FaceTime shopping. I mean, you know, it's going to be a little early in the morning for you all, but if you need anything, let me know. It'll be my pleasure. So who's leading us in Kiddush and Hamotzi? Roger Kiddush, you Hamotzi? Okay. Does he need the stool or no?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים
L'chaim.
נטילת ידיים.
Amen.
המוציא לחם מן הארץ. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rises songs together as our joyful prayer is set. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המוציא לחם מן הארץ.
Amen.
Yasher Koach. If you came here with someone that you love, I invite you to put your arms around them, give them a hug as we conclude our service just as we began it. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How wonderful it is when brothers and sisters, family and friends, community dwell together in harmony. Shabbat Shalom. Join with us. Hinei matov.
טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד.
Turn to the person next to you, wish them a Shabbat Shalom. If you want to give them a hug and a kiss, ask permission. Join us in the smaller social hall. If you go into a room that looks like it's set up for a wedding, you're in the wrong room. So, small social hall, join us for Shabbat dinner, everyone. Good Shabbos. Yasher Koach, Jeremy.